In a time that constantly demands our attention in different directions, only few are able to slow audiences down and make art that strays away from conventional forms, begging to be seen through new and interesting perspectives. And there are even fewer that go out of their way to support those artists. Kindling Arts, founded in 2018, is an annual multimedia arts festival dedicated to showcasing Middle Tennessee's most innovative and upcoming artists. Over 7 years and 80 productions, the festival has provided Nashville with a visual feast of diverse creative performances.
My name is Jessica Malone, and I am the founding artistic director of Kindling Arts. Daniel Jones, my co-founder, and what we were seeing about 7 years ago was that there was a real need for space and community for artists. Nashville is an incredible place, and it's becoming increasingly expensive as more and more folks join our community. We really saw that if an artist wanted to present their work in a theater space, or a traditional dance space, or even an unconventional space, it was incredibly cost prohibitive. We started to think about how could we help address this problem. When we think about the avenues that individuals have to see performance, we think about those big institutional models, the regional theaters, the ballet, the symphony, the opera, and those are enormous institutions that have a lot of infrastructure, a lot of staff, a lot of overhead. So they're only able to invest in work that they know is going to turn a considerable profit. So where does that leave all of the folks that are making things that, might not be the big Broadway musical? That's sort of where we come in. The core of our work is to be able to platform artists that are doing things that are challenging convention, that are addressing topics that are really on our minds and hearts at the moment, that are addressing social issues, that are the kinds of work that those institutions aren't able to take a risk on. What we do is we say, we believe in what you're doing, we're excited by it, and we're going to help connect you with the audience that we know is going to love what you're doing. Our application is absolutely free for anyone to apply to. And this is really important to us. And that's very different from the majority of performing arts festivals. For most festivals, artists are charged a fee just to be considered. No fee for us. We do everything we can to get that application in front of as many artists in our region as possible, because we really want everybody to consider applying if they feel like they have an idea that they want to share.
A key tenet of Kindling Arts is staying venue-centric. This conviction lifts up not only the artists, but the city at large. Local venues are given the opportunity to shine in previously unthought of ways, meaning that artists alone aren't the only ones benefiting from this experience. Nothing shows this more than Welcome to 1979.
My name is Yoli Mara, and I am the co-owner of Welcome to 1979. We are a pretty retro-themed recording studio here in Nashville, but certainly, I would say more so post-COVID, we do a lot more events. Daniel Jones, who's one of the co-founders of Kindling, he loved our space and thought it was cool. So he just shot us an email out of the blue and told us a little bit about Kindling and what it's about. And we just set up a time for Daniel to come over, and we really knew nothing about it. It was an easy yes. We have 7,000 square feet here. We're across 2 floors. We have a slide, we have a bunch of little rooms and stuff. So it just really spoke to him as being a good space for immersive theater. Well, we didn't really know what that was, but he kind of gave us a general idea, and we're like, hey, that could work. And he was so kind and so respectful that we weren't worried about our space, because we're not really set up right to be a theater. I mean, there's things they did, ways they moved furniture that, you just kind of logged away. And then when they were here doing dress rehearsals leading up to it, they changed light bulbs to all these colored light bulbs, and it changed the entire mood of some of the rooms. It was actually really fun, and just, I think, a great exercise for all of us. We now see our space differently and how it can be used. We're in a certain, I would say, tower of the arts, and this is definitely a separate one. But the more we were in it and the more we talked with the dancers and we talked with our staff and people we knew, like everybody, we like knew people who knew each other. Really great. You just felt like a bigger connection within the general arts community here in Nashville doing it. It was literally just a meeting last week and somebody was like, oh my gosh, I was looking at your social media and this immersive dance thing you did, that was so cool. So it's even if something doesn't come directly from it, people's awareness of it sets us apart as a place that's doing, different and innovative things, which is important in Nashville, the city of 1,000 recording studios. It's helped us in ways that we probably won't ever even be able to see behind the scenes.
It's rare to find an event that brings so many together on a variety of levels. While the dancers within individual shows reinforced their bond, a wider community was formed between artists of all disciplines. Almost Lost, choreographed by Coco French, is not only a choreographic feat, but a testament to this twofold ability of art to connect people.
My name is Eric Washington, but I go by Eric Bell, and I have been working with Coco for almost 2.5, 3 years now. I would say this piece in general, and all of the shows that I've done for Coco, she really focuses on telling true and real life stories. We don't always get everything perfect, and it's a lot of learning to understand someone else. I think the hardest part of the process is to tell somebody else's story, and to do it justice is a very, very difficult thing to do. So kind of tapping into that can be very taxing, but it's extremely rewarding.
My name is Reagan Strickland, and I have been dancing with Coco for the past 4 or 5 months, but I've known her since I was little. Kindling honestly is super cool because I also don't know a lot of the other pieces. I don't know the people that are putting the pieces on. So it's like a big kind of celebration of different people and different arts, which is really cool. So it kind of just makes it feel like a big Nashville dance mixing pot kind of. It makes you feel like a part of something bigger.
Kindling brings together so many different styles of movement and so many different artistic visions, things from very traditional modern movement to art to co-style. It was just very, very broad. So it was really cool to see so many different styles of artistry brought together in one place. Last year when I did Kindling was my first time being at Oz, so I didn't really know what to expect, so it really sparks the creative flame, I will say.
One of the most important and most beautiful aspects of creating work in a festival setting is the cross-pollination of the different disciplines. Normally, artists are working in more siloed niche communities, so the dance community or the theater community, or the music community, what have you. This is an opportunity for performing artists of all genres to come together and to meet each other. And then when you think about the different audiences that are attached to those different communities coming and then checking things out, it's just incredible to watch the way the community, grows and grows and grows. To just be embodied together in the same space and experiencing the same event simultaneously is incredibly healing. It makes us stronger when we're able to be together and more empathetic as we bear witness to all different kinds of expressions together.
This year, the Kindling team tackled yet another idea that has profound implications for artists everywhere.
This last year happened to be our 7th annual festival. And as we were thinking about 7, 7 is a lucky number, 7 is the perfect number. And perfection is a very loaded word for all of us, but perhaps especially for artists, right? We're always striving to, create the perfect choreography, to create the perfect execution of our vision, to be perceived as perfect in an increasingly competitive market. How can we instead embrace imperfection? What will that mean to our artists? We just thought it was really rich ground for folks to begin with, and that there were so many directions we could take it. And so it was really gorgeous to see people embrace the concept of failure and the idea that it's important to go through many iterations to get to something, and that perfection is subjective and impossible. And it was a really special year. I think it was a really apt theme.
the Kindling show is about imperfection, but the different pieces in our show are about imperfections, about loss, about grief, about love, and just life in general. So I feel like walking away from the show, I want people to just feel something in their bodies, not necessarily a certain feeling, happy or sad, but just to be moved by what's going on and the interpretations that they're getting. Kindling is going on in the midst of so many other things going on in all of our lives. So I feel like just showing up for each other and making this body of work into something more and bringing it to life, it just makes you really proud of everything that we've all put into it, because we've all worked so hard and dedicated so much time. I am personally happy to do it for all of us and for it to just see it out to the end.
So long to show me what we all lost. Say y'all I know that I just talk in my head. Doesn't ever listen all day long.
My mind is broken, my body's worn, my heart ran out on me. How many more days in January can there be? January, why must she be far from me? The phone lines all get frozen, and she don't hear a thing.